Morning, Donnacha.
Morning, how are you?
Great, thanks. How are you?
All good, all good.
Great, thanks a million for coming on this morning to give everyone an update on how you're getting on. It's much appreciated.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
No worries at all. So I suppose to start off with, for anyone watching who hasn't kind of met you before or isn't familiar with your story, if you could just tell us a little bit about how you started out on your journey in paratriathlon and how you got to where you are at the moment, kind of competing at such a high level.
Yeah, sure. So for me, I suppose my paratriathlon journey began back in probably early 2016. So I just attended a few of the paratriathlon talent ID days held by TI and run by the Paratri technical director Eamon Tilley. So to be honest, I went more out of curiosity than anything else, I think. So I came primarily from a running background. I would have had no real swim or bike experience. But I suppose just watching paratriathlon debut in the 2016 Paralympics and seeing Catherine Walsh, one of our very well-known Paralympians, take part. Just watching her take part kind of, I suppose, a little bit of a fire and motivated me to kind of up my training a little bit. So I suppose back in 2017 then I kind of took the triathlon side of things a bit more seriously, got into swimming in a big way, and then took part in my first national championships then in 2017 and my first ITU international race then in 2018 in Eton Dorney. So it's just kind of gone from there really.
So in just a few years you've progressed so much from then to doing your first World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was kind of a bit of a sharp upward curve, all right. But I have a really good team of coaches and guides behind me now at this stage. So they all really contributed towards I suppose where I am now, and in terms of me getting to where I am so quickly, in terms of I suppose looking at obviously Tokyo qualification now next year and stuff like that. So
brilliant. Things have changed quite a bit in recent months since we last caught up. How are you getting on at the moment?
Yeah, grand. So I suppose like this year now, obviously I was looking to kind of finish my qualification races for Tokyo and looking at that in August. But so my two World Cup races I planned for March. So that was Abu Dhabi and Sarasota were both cancelled due to the coronavirus. So obviously things have changed drastically since then in a very short space of time. So I suppose just for me at the moment, it's just about really kind of maintaining consistency with training and really kind of going back into almost winter mode and winter training. So it's a lot of high volume, quite low intensity stuff with some tempo work put in there. So that's kind of where I am at the moment training wise. So I suppose we don't really know when races are going to start back up or what qualification is going to look like yet or anything like that. So it's just kind of, it's more about keeping things just tipping over at the moment and just keep the training up and keep the fitness up.
And have you had to adapt your training much in the last few weeks?
Yeah. So like a lot of my training now obviously is all indoors. So I'm lucky enough in terms of that. It's almost like I've been preparing for this. So I'm lucky enough to have a treadmill here in the house. I have a bike with a turbo setup, and I have a few bits of weights and resistance bands and stuff like that. So I'm able to get my training in the house and indoors. So obviously for me being a totally blind athlete and to adhere to all these social distancing rules and stuff, I can't actually go out and go for a run or go for a cycle and stay 2 meters apart from someone. So
yeah, it's even more of a challenge for you.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if anyone has invented a 2 meter long tether yet, but if they have, they can give me a shout. So like obviously a lot of my training's indoors. So that hasn't taken much of, I suppose, a change to adapt to that, but it can get a little bit, I suppose, monotonous at times. So it's just a case of managing that more than anything else.
And how do you manage that? Have you had to kind of change your mindset towards training, or how have you kind of managed that mindset over the last, I suppose, few weeks since you've had to be indoors more? How have you kept motivation up? And
yeah, like I suppose it's just kind of just trying to keep my training as interesting as I can. So like I just do a lot of workouts on the treadmill, just in terms of just playing around with elevation and stuff like that, just to simulate running outdoors and hills and stuff like that. Likewise on the trainer, I think like a lot of people are on the Zwift platform now, just to kind of simulate the outdoor riding. And
yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah. So like I've been doing a bit of that as well, and yeah, it's different, all right, but you know, it's really good. So I'm enjoying that kind of side of it. I suppose like the only thing obviously I am missing is the swimming, and that's probably something I thought I'd never say. But yeah, it's just I've put a lot of work into that over the winter, so it's just a bit strange now to be out of the pool for so long. So just from that point of view, then like I'm just working with resistance bands and just doing a lot of more strength work. So to kind of just keep the strength up rather than any kind of swim fitness, I suppose, you know. So
yeah, so we're like working those muscles with dry land exercises, is it?
Exactly, yeah. So it's more about kind of keeping the feel and keeping the muscles engaged, and keeping the strength up. So just when I get back into the water, I'm not going to be starting from zero again, you know.
Great. And you're working from home, is that right, at the moment? So you work and train?
Yeah. So I'm working from home at the moment. So yeah, so that's probably a new experience as well. So I haven't worked from home for this long ever. So yeah, it's a new experience too.
It is a new experience, as you can tell. I'm working from home as well. And it does take a bit of getting used to. Have you had to change your routine, or in terms of what you're doing today, or how do you manage that part of it?
Yeah. So I suppose like I suppose the first week was a bit of a disaster, right? Because that was a bit of trial and error, just in terms of I was working. So I was just staying in bed until like 5 to 9, and then getting out of bed and going straight into work, which wasn't ideal. But yeah, so I suppose like it's, for me, kind of routine is everything, you know. So I suppose the only thing I haven't been missing now is the 5 o'clock and 5:30 starts in the morning. So I am getting a little bit more of a sleep in, but like I still try to do 2 workouts a day. So I just get one in before work in the morning, get to my office space where that's set up in the kitchen, and just work there for the day, and then just shut off in the evening and do some more exercise. So I think it is important, even if you are working from home, just to keep that kind of routine going and keep a little bit of structure to your day, because it can be very easy to be, I suppose, working late in the evenings if the computer is just open there and sitting. Can be very, this was a bit distracting, but I think if you have a bit of a routine, you may not always stick to it, but if it's there, Joe, it kind of gives a bit of structure to your day, and it makes the weeks go by a little bit faster, you know.
Yeah, so true. Good advice as well. Like I think the routine is key, and getting up at a set time definitely makes a difference, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, because yeah, it can be very easy just to stay that extra half an hour in bed or something like that.
Yeah, without the commute, like. And obviously another massive change for you at the moment then, like in terms of your schedule and your goals for the year, and you know, changing what the plan was, is the postponement of the Tokyo Paralympics for till next year, so until 2021. So once qualification parameters are kind of confirmed, will it be all systems go for you then?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So like I think like it's a good thing Tokyo wasn't cancelled, like, so it's just postponed by a year. So from that point of view, look, it's not a huge deal from my point of view, because look, I'm still training, I'm still keeping up to fitness, still improving. So to be honest, I think I've just put in my own head that it's an extra year away. It gives me an extra year to work on my swim, bike and run stuff, and it puts me in a better position going into next year and heading into qualification. So that's the kind of, I suppose, mindset I'm looking at it from, or that's the point of view I'm looking at from. So yeah, so we've no idea yet when qualification will start back up or what it's going to look like. So I'd say it's just a waiting game at the moment and just waiting to see what will happen. But yeah, once it's there, I'll be raring to road, raring to race.
Brilliant. Well, look, Donnachas, it was great to catch up with you. Thanks so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Next few weeks. Stay safe.
You too.